Ciao everyone, in this episode we are in Cat Ba Island, one of Vietnam's hidden gems.
This place is super picturesque. It's outdoorsy.
Come along for the ride.
So Ha Long Bay is one of the primary attractions that people go to whenever they're visiting the north, especially like in Hanoi. There are day cruises, there are overnight cruises. It's those picturesque karst mountains that kind of jut straight up out of the water. They're so pretty. It's definitely a must-see when you're in Vietnam. While most people go to Ha Long Bay to do an overnight cruise, we decided that we wanted to stay on one of the islands in Ha Long Bay called Cat Ba Island. Cat Ba Island is the largest island and one of the only islands that you can actually stay on. In order to get there, it's probably about a 2.5 hour drive from Hanoi. We actually came from Ninh Binh, so it was a bit longer and a bit tougher just to kind of organize the schedule there. We had to
trek.
Yeah, it was a bit of a trek to get there, and then we had to get a private speedboat in order to avoid the long wait for the ferries.
It was like, what, $40?
About 40 US for a private speedboat. Yeah,
it was an
fun.
experience.
Yeah.
They weren't touring you around, they were just A to B, and it was probably about 15-20 minutes. But it was a great introduction to the area because you were going to see these karst mountains and suddenly just boom, you're in the midst of all of them and they're right there everywhere. So I really loved the speedboat.
Yeah, it was better than waiting an hour for the ferry, and then the ferry ride takes about an hour, but you can do that and it's only like $5. So what is Cat Ba Island like?
It felt like you were joining a locals party, if you will. And you'll find tourists around. Clearly that is their industry, but it doesn't quite feel like that. There was a lot of locals everywhere, like everywhere. Kids, animals, adults, they're doing their thing, they're playing games, they're doing fitness in the park. It was fun. It felt like you were witnessing local Vietnam island life.
Most of the island's kind of undeveloped and rural, but there is the main section. It's just downtown Cat Ba, and it's more touristy, like right at the waterfront part. But like once you go one block in, there's like local markets, there's fish markets that we visited. It's crowded, there's schools, there's all the shopping and like all the traditional stuff you would expect to find in like a Vietnamese fishing village. I know when I was researching like where we wanted to stay, I didn't really find like the downtown area kind of as charming as I would have wanted it to be, and so I didn't book a stay there. There are like a couple nice resorts that are like right around the corner, and then everything else is kind of just these uninspired buildings that are just right there on the coast with like some touristy like restaurants and whatnot.
Yes, it's not like island vibes, let's go have like a beautiful dinner and overlook the water. It's more like everyone is coming back from excursions, let's go grab some good food, and then you can tell there's definitely a lot of partying that happens. So it has that fun, very like traveler camaraderie, and the food was awesome.
Oh man, the food is so good. We ate at the same place. It's called Oasis 3 times, I think.
Yes. We tried one other place and then immediately went back the next time because we were like, the food was so good. Like, we don't care if this is all tourists. The food is so good.
My favorite 40-cent beer. 40 cents. Tiger.
They had 10K beers, which is
beers
like
were so cheap.
40-cent draft beers, and they were delicious. And like indulging there, like ordering like multiple plates and having all the beers, it was like $12 US for our meals.
Also, they put all the tables facing out to the road, so you're watching all the travelers walk by, and that was so fun.
Like, it was lively, there was music, it just felt like a fun place to hang out, and there's not really much else to do at nighttime. So you kind of want to be around other people to be able to socialize and people watch and all of that. And Oasis is the perfect spot.
Yeah, a little footage of our basic pitch American food today. We got chicken nugs, we got a palm pepperoni pizza, and a mango chicken salad.
And my 333 mug.
It's delicious. It is really good here. Oasis.
Instead of staying in Cat Ba Town Central, we stayed about 15 minutes outside of town at a place called Green Homestay.
Let me point out, one of Jeremy's specialties is finding charming places to stay. Like, he's not gonna book a typical hotel room. He's always gonna find something with a little bit of charm. This homestay, I loved it. They always seem to be like a family running it. So they're so welcoming. Like, you sit down, they give you tea, they give you kind of the rundown of their area. And our guy's name was Mr. Wynn, and he was hilarious. He's like, I want to talk to you guys. We were like, okay, you have our attention. It was really small. There was probably what, like tops 15 units?
Yeah.
But it was beautiful. They were great. They were well equipped. It's not like luxury amenities, but this place was sparkly clean.
Yep.
We had everything we needed.
All I see is face. Hi, buddy.
When we first checked into our little bungalow, we had an adorable kitty and a dog come up and greet us.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any better
cat was
way to be
wonderful.
welcomed into a homestay than with furries?
We've been here for all of what? 10 minutes? That's what's happening there. This is what's happening here.
I mean, within like 3 minutes, it climbed on your lap and you were like petting it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Meow, meow. That was so good.
The homestay had breakfast. There was like a lot of options of pancakes, which pancakes are not pancakes. They're like really thick crepes. This stuff was so good.
Yeah.
The coffee was delicious.
The pho, I had pho every morning.
Yeah, your
oh
pho
my
was
God,
so
it's delicious.
good.
It's so good there. We also had lunch there one time, and it was really good. The food at Green Homestay is delicious. Order up if you're there. The best way to get around on Cat Ba Island, you gotta get a motorbike. They have a ton of motorbikes just waiting for you to rent. They're super affordable, maybe like $7 a day or something like that. And you can traverse around the island on your own personal motorbike at your leisure. So much fun to get around this way.
There's not a lot of traffic also, so I was comfortable. Like, I was more on the rural roads, but even on the main roads, I was comfortable driving us around. And in my experience on the island, they drive a lot slower. Like, they'll always honk when a car is coming up behind you, which is nice. But also, they're not like move it or lose it tourists. They were very much like respectful.
Yeah, it's weird that like island time, island vibes translate culture. I feel like every time you're on an island, no one's in a rush to go anywhere, especially because we're in like the busiest place, Hanoi right now, where like it's just madness. Everyone's in a hurry when they're on their motorbikes and cars to get everywhere. And then you get to an island, no one's in a rush. Everyone's driving peacefully. And it seems to be like that on every island.
Thank
Let us
God.
know if there's any islands that
God.
are just freaking bustly.
So I can avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's not a ton of things to do on the island, but one of the things that's a must do is go to Cat Ba National Park.
And get bubble tea.
What is that?
The
Delicious.
best roasted pearl milk tea.
This little joint.
This is like the love of our life.
And it's the one thing we found in town, like right off the bat.
The journey to and from Cat Ba National Park is a really scenic drive. You get a little bit of the beach, like the hillsides along the beach, and then you get kind of into the forest and stuff. Really cool drive. It's fun just getting from A to B. So at the national park, the primary attraction here is pretty much just a climb straight up to the top to this incredible view where you can see all of Cat Ba Island, 360-degree view.
It's cool. You're like in a forest, like a jungly forest.
The bottom parts of it were so cool because you really felt like you were in a lush tropical jungle.
Fairyland.
Most of the trail is pretty developed, but there are some spots where you kind of gotta climb over and around stuff. You can't really see the view at all during your hike until you get to the tippity top. But once you start to get up to the tippity top, you realize all of this work was for something. It is absolutely gorgeous when you get to the top. The views are spectacular. You can see all of Cat Ba Island.
I don't even know what to say about it because it was beautiful, and it's views like I've never seen before. So it was just kind of one of those things where you're like, whoa, I can't believe I'm looking out there.
Mm-hmm. There's this small structure that's like 2 stories that you first arrive at, and that's where I think the views are probably the best. And then there's like an offshoot that kind of takes you on another maybe 10-minute little climb to another viewpoint. There's not like a lot of area to enjoy over there, and it was a little bit crowded when we went, and it's a little bit jagged and kind of hard to find a comfortable place to enjoy that view. But it's definitely worth going to see the view on that part, and it's just another section of the climb. It's a really fun experience being up there at the top and being able to enjoy the views from a different perspective. Included in the admission fee for Cat Ba National Park is the Trung Cave. It's probably about it's about a 15-minute walk. We walked there, it probably would have been 3 minutes on the motorbike. We just wanted to walk because it's right down the road.
Welcome to my cave system.
The caves were so cool. Like, it was a vast like network of all these like trails that went through this cave. Yeah. They light it up so you can kind of see everything when you're in there, and it's really cool. You feel like you're exploring deep into the heart of the jungle. I feel like you're like Indiana Jones trekking through some archaeological site.
I didn't know what to expect. As you start to get in it, you do start to feel the heat, and it gets a little bit closed in, but nothing to the point, coming from a claustrophobic person, where I felt too uncomfortable. And it's cool because like you're never like crawling. Like you'll duck a little bit, but then it'll open and it'll have like that cool sulfur looking things and everything in the cool structures.
And when we went, there was literally no one else in the cave. We got to explore the whole cave system by ourselves, which makes it feel more special and more adventurous when you're just in there all by yourself. There's no other tourists snapping photos and laughing and whatever. So I really enjoyed that part of it, is being able to kind of just like really just dive in and be able to explore that like on our own.
When you exit the cave, there was a little restaurant. Sometimes the things in Vietnam, you're like, I can't tell if you're open or not. We just like paused. We're like, oh, let's order little spring rolls. It was fantastic. Like,
oh, so good.
The food that's just kind of like random and low key is always the best food here. You know, like sometimes some things just look like a little drink spot. If they have food, order it because it's always great.
Yeah, and even though it's like in a national park, they don't like gouge you for prices or anything. It's like the same cost as like everywhere else you go, the same quality as everywhere else you go. I'm looking at you, Disneyland.
Yeah, Disney.
So what everybody comes to Ha Long Bay and Cat Ba Island for are the cruises. You must do a cruise when you're here. There are overnight cruises, there are 2-day cruises, there are cruises that visit Ha Long Bay, there are cruises that visit Lan Ha Bay. The one that we did, the Lan Ha Bay Cruise, is a little bit further out there than the traditional 1-day Ha Long Bay cruises. You get to go into more of the private, more untouched areas where you'll see a lot less of the cruise ships. And so that's why I decided to book this one for us. We were able to book it directly from our homestay. It was only about $26 per person. They pick you up super early in the morning at like 8 a.m. They drop you back off at 5, includes all the transportation to the dock.
Immediately, you're leaving from a fishing village. So there's all these local fishermen. They're like waving hello to you. You have such good energy, and it's kind of early in the morning. People are kind of keeping to themselves. And then you get out, and instantly you're in between these mountainous island things. It was really cool. And it was also fun. We went in March. Like in the US, if you're going on a boat tour, it's summer. You're in a bikini, you got a hat, everyone smells like sunscreen. We went in March, like we had swimsuits on underneath. A lot of people did, but people were in parkas, and it's also just kind of trekking culture. And then the very first thing that you do is they bring you to like this kind of quiet beach, and they drop an anchor and they say, go swim.
Go swim.
But the thing that I love is there was no like, okay, this is your safety demonstration, this is your life jacket. They walked up to the top of the boat, opened a gate, and said, if you want to swim, you can jump from the top.
3, 2, 1, talk to me.
It was nice. Like, I don't care when you go, what time of year, especially because it's the first part of the morning. It really woke us up and it felt good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I enjoyed just hanging out in that little island for a little while. And after that short stop on the island, you travel through even more of those karst mountain ranges, and it's just gorgeous, picturesque throughout the entire thing. And then you arrive at this one area where everyone goes kayaking.
3, 2, 1, talk to me.
All the cruise ships of the day, it seemed like they kind of dock at this one specific place that's dedicated to kayaking. You'll see a bunch of other cruise ships, and you might have to like wait in a bit of a line in order to get on an actual kayak.
That was the only part that felt kind of like toursy, is they're like, hand you a life jacket, you're getting in a line, you're waiting for your kayak. But what was cool is the moment you were in your kayak, free for all, go wherever you want. Be back in 45 minutes to an hour. We took that hour, solid hour.
We took about an hour 10, hour 15.
So everyone starts going this direction. We saw like this kind of little area over to the side, and I loved it because it was really just like, hey, go explore, have fun.
Yeah, being able to be on your own little kayak and kind of just paddle around at your own leisure, it gave it like a different, kind of more rich experience than being motored around on a boat. You kind of get to enjoy it on a different level, and you get to experience the views from a different perspective, being in a little kayak. There were caves that you could paddle through, which was really cool, 2 of them. We found this one spot where everyone was kind of at, but it seemed like it was time for everyone to go back. And so there was this beautiful area that everyone just left from. And we're like, we're here by ourselves, let's jump in. Of course we had to jump in.
This is what made the day go from good to great instantly. Because it was so fun. Like, we were by ourselves in Ha Bay, swimming in this area all by ourselves, like jumping off of our kayak.
The only ones around. Look at that. Life don't suck, huh?
That was such a special, cool moment where like those feelings where you're like, whoa, like this is why we did this. This is why we trekked this far. This is like just getting to see a different part of the world that feels so different. We loved that.
Yeah, definitely a core memory for me. It was a little bit warmer by that point, and the water felt really good after like building up a little bit of a workout kayaking. It was just so tranquil, so peaceful, so beautiful, and just something we got to experience together.
Yes.
Just the 2 of us.
So then we mad dash paddled back because we'd spent too long swimming, but we were fine by the time we got back.
So we got back and lunch was waiting for us. Everyone was already seated. Because by the time we got in, we were the last ones there and they were already starting to serve. And so there was not 2 adjacent seats. So
It was
we
fun,
sat
though. We
separately.
were
We got to
happy
meet new
about it.
people. Yeah. One of the great things about actually being on a boat like this is being able to meet other travelers. And we got a chance to sit at separate tables and meet travelers from all around the world.
So this is one of my favorite parts, if not my favorite part of the tour, is that there's only 40 people on the boat. And so when you get there, it has like very, very first day of school energy where you're like, okay, who's in my history class?
Yeah.
What are we working with? And then by the time everyone's eating, people are like talking, telling stories.
So after lunch, we departed for Monkey Island. On our way there, the views, again, incredible. Everywhere you look, it's just beautiful. There's like a little tranquil beach here. There's like a cool little fishing boat there. Everything is just picture perfect. And the coolest thing about this leg of the journey is the sun started to come out. This is the first time that we'd seen sun since we got to Vietnam. The first time, and we've been here for at least 12, 13 days at this point.
Yeah, my bikinis were getting dusty.
So as the sun came out, it felt so magical on this journey to Monkey Island. And then once we got to Monkey Island, we didn't really know what to expect. They call it Monkey Island, so you imagine there's gotta be monkeys on this island, right? But we didn't know if we had to like go trek to find them, or like if there's like a few monkeys and like, you know, if they're sleeping, you just don't get to see them.
These tours are not like Jurassic Park where they're like on your left. Like they say things, but you're like, we don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is they pull up and we're like, everyone's saying like, will we actually get to see Monkey Islands or is that just the name? As we're pulling up, you see this tiny monkey just on the beach running and we were like, oh, let's go. Of course, they drop anchor like 50 yards out and they're like, go. At this point, it's not hot. It's warm, but it's not hot. But a lot of people are in full clothes just because they were not swimming. And they were like, what do we do? And they're like, go swim over there. So there was a boat available, we realized, but obviously we swam.
Of course, yeah. You can jump in the water, let's jump in the water. It was so fun because once you got on the island, the monkeys are so curious about you. I'm sure they just want your shiny stuff and your food or whatever, but it's cool that they just come up next to you and they're just like hanging out.
Yeah, okay. Monkeys are scary. While they're super cute, they're scary. Yeah. He doesn't have footage of this. I have footage of this in my brain imprinted because I was like, oh, look at that cute little monkey. And he ran towards me and wrapped himself around my leg. And not like in a like, take me home, are you my new mommy way? No, and like, I didn't want to kick it because one, it's a monkey. Two, I didn't know if like aggression would beget more aggression. And then you said don't make eye contact with them, like if they are aggressive. So I just like headed straight for the water, was like walking as fast as I could. And I was like looking at my tourist friends and I was like, is it still on me? Is it still on me? And they're like, yeah. And then finally it like let go. It wasn't actively biting me, but it kept like looking at me like it was gonna bite me because I watched it happen.
See this little guy? He just tried to cling to my leg for like 5 minutes.
After that, I was watching him so closely because he was like, you know, filming things and enjoying his drone and looking around, and all the monkeys were slowly surrounding him, and I was like, oh no, like these little dudes are aggressive if they want to.
Why so far away?
Because I'm trying to make sure the monkey doesn't get you.
Yeah, they're most likely not going to attack you, but if they do have, you know, bacteria that could cause infection and be like really bad news for you. So you don't want to get bit by a monkey, but I did feel relatively safe, and I think you should feel relatively safe.
Also, they like shiny things.
Exactly.
There was one monkey who had a baby attached to it, and she was like, so cute.
The baby monkeys were like play fighting with each other and like chasing each other around the rocks. And then one of them just like grabbed a rock and was playing with it like it was his favorite toy.
What did you do with that rock, dude? Did you see him?
I could observe these things in the wild like all day long. We could have spent 3 hours on this island.
It was really cool being on an island on a beach with monkeys walking around that would just like walk up and sit next to you.
And there's this little hike that you can do up to a viewpoint. It has like these jagged rocks you could sit on and enjoy the views up there too. I would definitely recommend doing a day-long Lan Ha Bay boat tour. It was the most fun that we had on the island, and it's what everyone goes there for, and it's totally worth it.
Everyone had the best energy. Like we maybe just got really lucky,
Yeah.
but something tells me it's just the general vibe of doing these tours and the people you're going to meet. It was so fun. Like I genuinely love the people the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Meeting new people is always the ancillary benefit of going on these tours. One tip I would recommend, instead of just doing a day cruise in Ha Long Bay from Hanoi, it's one of those things you're gonna spend 2.5 hours getting there, 2.5 hours getting back. I would stay on Cap Island because you get to really immerse yourself in the area and you get to get out into the further reaches of Ha Long Bay, into the Lan Ha Bay area, and you get to visit the national park and you get to experience the Vietnamese island life. And I would prefer to do this over the overnight stays on the cruises. I'm just not a big fan of here's your set itinerary every single day. I prefer being able to do things kind of at our own pace. So if you have a few days, I would definitely recommend staying on Cat Ba Island instead of doing a cruise, even an overnight cruise.
And it was also fun because it's a small enough island that you kind of see people around. So when we got back, it's not like we were running into everyone, but we like saw a person here, a person there, and it was like really exciting to just wave and be like, hey, I just spent a really magical day with you.
So that was our experience on Cat Ba Island. I would do it again. I can't wait to go back. It looks like it's being built up even more. So if you get a chance, go while it's still more underdeveloped.
If I were to go again, every single time I go, I will do the boat tour. Every single time, if I have a chance to go to Cat Ba Island, I will go and I will do the exact same boat tour I did because it was that fun. It was that cool. It was that unique.
Stay tuned for our video on Hanoi.
Stay tuned for spa treatments.